Good morning, everyone. I really hope you are enjoying our broker event today. My name is Jan Gallagher. I am the Business Development Manager for the North. Next slide, please. So the agenda for today is that I'm going to talk to you about our processes and systems and how at LendInvest we are trying to make your life a little easier. I've been a broker myself and I fully understand how difficult the role can be sometimes. And I think it's really important for a lender to be able to work alongside you to support you as best they can. Not sure how accurate that picture of us is with all of us working at home at the moment, but I don't think any of us will be rocking up with a shirt and tie on every day. Maybe the books on the left-hand side would be an accurate representation of homeschooling at the moment for a lot of us, but we all are in a strange world at the moment. Next slide, please. Okay, so really need to bookmark this. This is about our calculators. So I know if I was a broker, I'd be using these on a daily basis. This is on our website, and this shows us all our product suite, so our short-term lending and also our buy-to-let. So with our calculators will show all of the product suite. So it will show you buy-to-let, auction, bridging, bridge-to-let, development and development exit. So it will show you the property value, the monthly rental. You can play around with these figures. It will show you if it's a single property, HMO, either being a small HMO or a large HMO or a multi-unit freehold block. But what the key thing here with these calculators is that it will also work out the stress test for you. So you can either put in a limited company, or it can you can put it as an individual and then type in the either the basic rate taxpayer or higher rate taxpayer, and it will work out which products fit. And it will also show you the pay rate products as well. So it's really key to bookmark that, because obviously you can download these calculators as a PDF and then send them to your clients non-branded. So that's a really useful tool. That was the first thing that I probably would want to show you in relation to what you can utilize with LendInvest. Next slide, please. Broker portal slide. So, okay, this just shows you, the image on the right-hand side is to do with the log-on page. So a lot of you will have log-ons with ourselves, but what I would say is if you've got any new members of the team and they want to have access to the broker portal, they would need to go onto the log-on page, click on the blue link that says request access, and at that point, they will get pulled through an application form, and then we can obviously get them some log-on details within 24 hours. So all our buy-to-let applications go through our broker portal. When inputting your DIPs, you'll be asked to input your client's information. The real point that I'm going to stress here is that no credit search is done at the DIP stage. So it's really important to have the client's credit file to hand, because you will be asked credit information at this stage. Once the DIP has been agreed, the portal will then show you what products are available to your client. Can I have the next slide? Submitting an application, please. This shows you obviously what the broker portal looks like when you are submitting an application. So the first stage for yourselves will be to convert the DIP to a full application. Sometimes I know it's really difficult when you're a broker, but you will sometimes be doing a lot of telephone appointments and trying to gather information from your client. So we do have a data capture form on our website, and that can obviously gather all the information prior to you going onto the portal and submitting that yourselves. It really is a straightforward process on the portal. And if you do get to the end of it, and you have missed any information, it will show in red any areas that haven't been completed. Okay, submitting an application continued. Once you submit the application, we'll send you an email to your client to DocuSign. So the really key thing here is that we don't ask for any wet signatures for declaration or direct debit. So I know when I was a broker, that can be a pain, especially in the current climate that we're in at the moment. You know, to get that wet signature off your client. The key thing to remember here, though, is that if you've got more than one applicant on the application, make sure that you have an individual email for each party to the application. We only require their portfolio schedule, proof of earnings, which is usually SA 302 or 3 months pay slips, and proof of deposit if it's a purchase. These items then can be uploaded on the portal. But I can't stress this enough to you. Packaging is really key. It is minimal what we ask of you, but getting it right first time really speeds up your cases. So for example, if you are putting in zeros or to bypass fields, that will delay your application and halt up the valuation being instructed. Also, if you don't upload the portfolio, you know, that's really key. We can't instruct valuation until that gets uploaded. Or finally, if you haven't put the correct information in around the address, that can obviously delay matters as well. So we have to meet halfway in relation to this. A task will also be raised for the admin stroke valuation fee to be paid. And then also the client will be sent emails from our partner firms on FIDO and open banking, which I will explain next. Next slide, please. Okay, a little bit about on FIDO. Okay, you would actually be really surprised how many cases of identity fraud there were in 2019. This actually shocked me, but there was 190,000 cases of identity fraud in 2019. So what the key thing here is as a broker, you have to protect yourselves against this. And also as a lender, we also have to do that as well. So OnFido is a technology company that helps us and many other businesses verify people's identities using a photo-based identity document, a selfie, and artificial intelligence algorithms. So it's very similar to the lovely days when we were all in airports where they would do facial recognition and also you would scan your passport. So that is OnFido. Next slide, please. So we are now using open banking, and that is a service provided by Equifax to obtain most of our underwriting requirements. For example, bank statements to prove mortgage payments. Your client will receive an email to confirm their details and for them to choose which bank they deal with. So as you can see from the images, it's a really simple process for your client to sign up for open banking, and they would just need to allocate which bank they actually use for their banking transactions. Next slide, please. Okay, so open banking continued. So open banking is intended to speed up the underwriting process, but applicants can revert back to the manual processing of providing bank transaction data if required. So we don't insist on open banking. So if the client is adamant that they don't want to do that, then we can obviously revert back to the paper information from the clients themselves. Thing to point out here is actually open banking is fully secure and it is safe technology with a one-time only access to a dashboard and not to the applicant's individual bank statements. I get asked this question all the time by my brokers, is that the client is not happy with us kind of rummaging around their bank statements and finding out how many times they've been to Tesco's. It doesn't work that way. It is a dashboard that the underwriter will see, and it will be just the conduct of the bank account. This is a really good tool when dealing with portfolio clients where their mortgages may not be showing on the credit file and the underwriter asks for proof of mortgage payments on a very large portfolio. Can you imagine having a portfolio of 20 properties and it's in a limited company and it's not on the credit file and the underwriter asks for all that supporting information off you and you have to get 20 lots of proof of mortgage payments? So as you can imagine, open banking comes into force when that happens. The also benefit to your clients is that they get £200 cash back if a client opts for open banking, and that is per application. So on that scenario, with 20 properties in a portfolio, they would get 20 times 200 on that. Next slide, please. Okay, so this shows open banking, the dashboard, what the actual underwriter sees. So as you can see, it's the conduct of the bank account. We don't ask any specific questions about individual transactions. We just make sure that payments are being made on time, money's in, money's out, and it's just the conduct of the actual individual's bank account that we can see. Next slide, please. Okay, portfolio clients. So At the moment, we are seeing a lot of portfolio clients come to LendInvest, and there are valid reasons why brokers are using us for portfolio clients. The first thing that I'll point out is that on each application, we ask for £150 admin stroke valuation fee for standard properties up to 750,000. This can save the client a lot of money when comparing to other lenders who use a valuation fee scale. I'll give an example. I had one broker come to me and they had priced up their portfolio with another competitor of ours, and each valuation on the properties were coming in between £500 and £700 on the valuations. So as you can imagine, having £150 per application to cover the admin and val fee saved that client a lot of money. On the portal, we have a copy application tab, which allows you to duplicate the application, making life a little easier. So what I would say on that is the only thing that you need to change typically on that is the property address and property value and things like that. Supporting documentation only needs to be uploaded once on the first application, and then we can cross-reference on further applications. So you would upload the first application as normal, upload the supporting documentation, and then your further applications, you would just put a note on to say what the first application reference code was. We will try and get the same underwriter on the portfolio to ensure continuity. That is key, because obviously you want that same underwriter looking at that client and the further properties that come in. So we do try and do that for you. And also, please do remember that your BDM will be there to support you with the portfolio and review the properties prior to submission for you. That's key. So I know brokers will come to me and I will look on Street View. I will make sure that the property looks fine. And also I'll check postcode exposure as well to make sure we're okay in that particular postcode area. As a broker, you have direct access to your underwriter by email and telephone, so no call centre. That is a big win with LendInvest, is the fact that you can get hold of an underwriter by email and telephone, so no call centre. How frustrating. I know when I was a broker, picking up the phone and speaking to someone who doesn't know the case can be so frustrating. So I would say to have that ability to be able to email your underwriter or have a conversation, that is key with ourselves. You'll also have support from our pre and post offer team, where you'll be allocated a case manager to support you throughout the transaction. So for example, once the case has gone to offer, at that point, you'll have an introduction email from the post offer team, and then you'll have an allocated case manager basically hold your hand throughout the transaction, and then obviously liaise with solicitors and things like that for you. And don't forget, you'll have your local BDM support you, and you've also got the telephone BDM team is always there to help as well. Last screen, please, last page. Okay, so questions. Have had some questions emailed through already, but if you do have any questions, there is a facility on here to be able to ask any questions. I'll try and get through to them as much as I possibly can. If I don't get through to your question, I'll obviously come back to you later and we can obviously go from there. So first question was, is the £150 valuation for all property types? So that is basically in that scenario, yes, well, up to 750,000, standard properties, small HMOs, we can use Connells, so that's £150. In the other scenario, if it's a multi-unit freehold block, or if it's a large HMO, then we have to go to method. In that scenario, then we will try and get the cheapest quote for you from that one as well. Okay, some questions come through, so bear with me a second, see if there's any approved ones. Okay, so can contact details for case managers not be shared as well as underwriters? Absolutely. You've got, you've also got, if you look at, or if you speak to your BDM, you do have a buy-to-let pre-offer email team. So you've got an email for the pre-offer team and also a direct telephone number. So if you do need to speak to a case manager, typically the people that answer that will know where that case is up to. And you will have correspondence. If there's anything that's missing from the case managers, they will contact you directly by their email. So you will have contact with those case managers as well. Okay, bear me a second. Okay, so can proof of deposit be as a director's loan if they are incorporating? So director's loan, yeah, absolutely. So if someone is purchasing, got an individual name, looking to purchase in an SPV, yeah, we would do it as a purchase, and then the director's loan would be the deposit on that basis. And that'll be done all through your solicitors and things like that. Okay. See if there's anything else come through for you. So can the applicant details be cloned for portfolio clients to avoid duplication? Yeah, like I say, it can be copy and pasted, if that makes sense. You can copy the application. At that point, what you can do is the only thing that everything will come across. The only thing that you will need to change is the property details, because that will be typically what we'll need to change on the applications. Okay, so where do I put my payment submission route? So payment submission route is on the product page. At that point, you have a drop-down facility, which will then direct you to typically all the networks, all the clubs. And at that point, you can obviously pick out which network and club that you can go to on that as well. Okay. How quickly is my proc fee paid? Well, we are quite quick out there in the marketplace. So it's the next Wednesday, typically after you have completed on the case. So it is really quick on that one. So that is something that we can obviously pay really quickly on for you. Will the portal show me where the case is up to? Yes, it will. So obviously you can track your case on the portal. You'll also have emails from our team as well, just to ensure, where you're up to and things like that. So yeah, you'll know exactly where it's up to. So it'll go through different stages. It'll go through app signed, fee paid, valuation instructed, things like that. So that'll be able to be done on that one as well. That is it from me. If there's any questions that I haven't got to, I will come back to you later on that. What I would say is speak to your BDMs. If you've got a specialist case on your desk and you need to speak to someone, pick up the phone, speak to the BDMs. We're all here to support you as best we can. Hopefully some of my brokers have been on this call with me, and hopefully I'll catch up with you all soon. But thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you.